What's up, Giants fans, Hub and Kidblue watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush and Kidblue back at it again with another episode of the Young Guns podcast, number 61, I believe. And for the first, well, not the first time, but now things are really starting to ramp up because it's been a couple weeks, been a couple episodes where we have actually had topics to talk about considering the Giants. But this has definitely been the biggest week since, I don't know, the offseason started, I guess. You know, we have 53-man roster cuts, waiver claims, 2 trades that happened this week. There's a lot of stuff that went down. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Mike Nixon, Yuvraj Singh, Joseph Balby. But what up, Kid Blue? How you doing, man? And what's happening?
Not much, man. Excited about what the news we saw today. We definitely have a lot to talk about when it comes to these roster adjustments because some of them, well, not that I don't agree with them, but it's like I don't know. The Trent Harris one, I feel like he deserved to make the roster. We'll get into all of that, but I'm feeling good. And apologies everybody for me not putting on the camera just because I'm a bit under the weather right now and I look like crap. So I don't want to do you guys that kind of disservice. So I'm
What
trying.
is
I'm
it, a
trying to have
cold?
a. It's definitely a cold. I mean, I don't think anybody should be worried about COVID because I had it before. This feels like a regular cold.
Yeah, what up,
Uh,
Tracy popped in here as well. But, I mean, I guess, what do you want to start with? We could start with, let's talk about the trades first, I guess. I guess we could go in the order that they happened, right? So the
okay.
first trade that went down, B.J. Hill, third
Yeah.
round pick in 2018 of the Giants. We send him to Cincinnati for Billy Price. I can't remember if there was a pick involved. I know there was a pick involved with the second trade, but I can't remember if there was a pick involved with the Billy Price trade.
For the Billy Price trade, no, I think it was player for player.
Okay. Was it just
Yeah.
straight up?
Yeah, it was a straight up trade, and this trade, the most recent trade really validated the Billy Price trade, and I say that because I wasn't really comfortable with the Giants trading B.J. Hill for a guy that really has not been good throughout his career, even though he was a first round pick, and then them thinking that maybe this guy can start at left guard week 1 because of Shane Lemieux's gone. I'm like, this is the best you guys can try to do here, and you guys gave up a decent depth player for that, but it actually validates it because of the next trade that we made. And I'm like, so he may be the starter, and this guy, Billy Price, may be our depth piece there at the for the offensive line. So I actually do like those 2 trades in combination. So as far as just specifically that Billy Price trade, I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfect situation for all 4 sides involved. So you got BJ Hill's side, the Giants side, Bengals side, and Billy Price's side. I think it all works out for each other's favor. Billy Price definitely needs some new scenery and obviously a chance where he can compete. And then BJ Hill can definitely get some reps on that Cincinnati D line. And the Giants didn't really need BJ Hill, even though he was he's a player that can start on pretty much any defense that need starters. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's great trade for all 4 sides.
Shout out to Nerd Cage Live in here. What up, man? Yeah, he said tell him about tomorrow. I will be on his channel once again tomorrow. Always have a fun time when I'm over there. I believe Pest as well will be there, and Authentic. So I'm not even sure what topics we're gonna talk about yet, but definitely look out for that. Yvette's in here. What up, man? Mike Nixon, Luan, Big Blue for life. What's up, guys? How you doing? And we'll get to Quincy Roche and Trent Harris in a second. But Trent Harris, I felt initially played a role in the B.J. Hill trade because he was I'm thinking about the wrong guy. Raymond Johnson, is who I'm thinking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Raymond Johnson the second, or is it the third? Raymond Johnson the third, I believe. He was an undrafted lineman last year, I think, that the Giants picked up, and he
Yeah.
stuck with us since last year, and he really showed out in camp this year. And there was some reports that even suggested even if this trade didn't happen, BJ Hill probably would not have made the roster, which I find a bit shocking. But everything said that Trent Harris basically beat him out for his own spot, and so that's why they were even more comfortable with letting him go to get a guy in Billy Price. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and just to get younger at that position a little bit, and I guess a little cheaper as well. Listen, you always want to like Raymond Johnson, and there's no disrespect on BJ Hill. Raymond Johnson had a really good preseason, and it's like, do we really want to keep BJ? Even though let's give BJ Hill an opportunity to really get playing time somewhere else instead of
Yeah,
keep
let's be
making
honest.
him.
BJ Hill is gonna
You know,
start for the Bengals. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I would say so as well. If not, he will be in a good rotation with that Bengals D line. So, and remember, BJ Hill. I mean, I don't think he is a 4-3 defensive end at all, but he's a guy that can be put in different places on the line, so he's going to be versatile in that respect. But when you have a guy like Raymond Johnson, undrafted free agent, where he's having a really good preseason, he's doing all the right things, and you're at a position right now where you don't really need a a BJ Hill. You need a guy that you can develop, a guy that can be a depth piece and really young, and that's where Raymond Johnson comes in. So I thought it was a perfect situation for the Giants there and try to flip BJ Hill for a position that they needed.
Oh, and thank you for correcting me. It's this year. I was wondering if it was this year we got Raymond Johnson or last year. Either way, undrafted free agent. Wild child in here. Bobby Murphy, of course, in our O-line is still trash. Frankie G, football talk with Benny. And continuing with the O-line hill, Price, and obviously we're talking about Ben Bredesen. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
I keep saying Brett. I keep saying Brett Bredesen, and I'm like, stop. It's Ben Bredesen. I'm trying to make myself say it
I'm just
right.
gonna call him Ben, man. I can't say his last name.
Ben B.
Ben B, bro. Yo, that's Benny B, bro. Listen. Anyway, but for Billy Price, even before we made the trade for Benny B, I was still kind of happy with Billy Price in the sense that everything I read about him from Bengals beat reporters. So I was like, let me not read what Giants beat reporters are saying about him. Let me go to Bengals beat reporters. They were saying and they were painting the picture that he was improving and he was having a great preseason. He was having a great training camp. And he was sort of building off of a good year in 2020. So it was like, because remember, he's a first-round pick that never lived up to that actual pick. And he's basically been benched since his second year. But they were saying, like, yo, he was actually improving this offseason.
Yeah, and so hopefully we get the better of Billy P there. We get the better of those two guys because when we eventually move on to the Benny B situation,
we can talk about it right now. That was we sent a 4th-round pick to the Ravens, and right away, even though he hasn't hit the field, I think this is a win for us because we sent a 4th to them. We got a 5th in return and a future 7th. So I think that does make up for the 4, and we got a player. So I was just like, you know what? That's a good trade. That's a good trade for us.
Yeah, when you're talking about the Ben Bredesen?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first initially saw it, because I remember Ben Bredesen's name from last year. And, he was a 4th-round pick. We wound up giving a 4th-round pick. It was pretty much like we spent the 4th-round pick on getting a guy that's a 4th-round. So I'm not mad about that. But when it comes to 4th-round picks, in my opinion, the drop-off between a 4th-round pick and a 5th-round pick is it's such a big gap for me that when we give up a 4th-round pick, this guy better be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give up a whole 4th-round pick, which is pretty much a starter in the NFL draft. You get a borderline starter in the NFL draft for a guy that's not going to work out, and Billy Price winds up freaking starting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope Ben Bredesen works out. From everything that I'm hearing, people loved Ben Bredesen. Not that he was great or anything like that, but he was just the BJ Hill situation, right? He was a decent player on a stacked position group. That's exactly what Ben Bredesen was. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, we have to speculate into this a little bit because the Baltimore Ravens, instead of giving Ben Bredesen the opportunity to start, they went ahead and got Ben Cleveland in this draft. So that tells you something that, hey, they feel like maybe this Ben Cleveland guy who was a mid-round pick, I mean, he should have been an earlier pick, but he wound up being a mid-round pick. They feel like he could start over Ben Bredesen. So we definitely need to do some speculation to that. We can't just go into it thinking he was a part of a Ravens offensive line that was great, so he must be great. I'm going to slow down a little bit on that, but I am very optimistic about this one. I feel like this guy is going to start week 1 for us if Shane Lemieux is not healthy. And by the way, Shane Lemieux should not play.
Wasn't I don't know if I ever said on Young Guns, but I've been sitting on Just Chilling. Didn't I tell y'all something's wrong with this man that we should keep an eye out on him?
You did. And listen, I'm not saying this as a guy that is not really a Shane Lemieux fan. I like Shane Lemieux, but I just think he's a little overhyped. I think he should not play at all. Patellar tendons are no freaking joke, dude. And especially as a guard, when you're constantly bending your knees in stances, you're anchoring your legs to try to stop. And you know how much pressure you're putting on your knees as an offensive lineman? You know what happened to Victor Cruz, okay? Mm-hmm. Victor Cruz was never the same from that injury. So, I mean, I don't think – if Shane Lemieux partially tore it for real, you should not play. And they're out here saying that they're trying to get him to practice without getting surgery. Are you guys freaking nuts? Are you guys nuts? So that's why I'm happy with the Giants making those 2 moves to pretty much, you know, go ahead and fill in that position for Shane Lemieux for just in case he does not start. And I'll tell you right now, Ben Bredeson is probably a better guard. And no disrespect to Shane Lemieux, but Ben Bredeson is probably a better guard already. So if they had a straight up competition, I think Ben is winning that.
Yeah, they were both drafted in 2020. Ben's a second-year player. I see Bobby saying they were both busts. I mean, Bobby, if there's any team that knows about bust after just 1 year of playing, it's the Eagles. So I don't know. Maybe you're right about that,
Bobby,
man. Jalen Rager,
yeah, Bobby knows all about it, dude.
You
and
know
by the
all
way,
about
guys,
bust after just a rookie year.
By the way, guys, we got a nice 34 people watching right now, and why don't you guys do us this little favor and hitting that like button? All right,
Facts.
Hit that. We got 8 likes right. Well, I see 8 likes. Maybe it froze up for me.
I
don't
see 8
know
as well.
Yeah, but that math ain't adding up, guys. You guys got to hit that like. Yeah, there you go. Can we get Can we get 15? Can we get 15 right now? Can we get it right now? Oh, we got 12. Can we get 15
it's getting
right
there.
now? At least.
It's getting there.
At least. There we go. There
All
we go. I like that.
That's what's up.
I like that.
That's what's up. But getting back to Ben versus Shane Lemieux, like I was saying, both of them came out the same year. Ben was ranked above him as like a better guard than him. And I mean, I was gonna ask you, did you get a chance to look at any film about him, even just read a couple scouting reports on him and whatnot?
All I did was pretty much watch what Baltimore Ravens people were talking about Brent Bederson. I watched Engraven Vid's video. He liked the trade, not that we stole they stole a 4th round pick from us. He liked the trade. He liked Ben Bredeson. He just felt like this was just like how we feel. It was just a good situation on all sides. The Giants are making really logical draft decisions. They're not really stealing anybody, and the other team isn't really stealing from us either. They're really logical trades. As far as these 2 recent trades, really logical, makes sense on all sides. Like I said, I have real big optimism for Ben Bredeson. I think he can be a starter for us. And honestly, if he winds up starting and he does a good job, Shane Lemieux's not getting his job back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think they're not going to rush Shane Lemieux back if he plays well. Ben Bredeson plays well, and then Ben Bredeson could, because it's not like Shane Lemieux is that veteran presence or he's the younger guy. They came in the same draft. And Ben Bredeson was drafted ahead of Shane Lemieux.
And he was considered better than him even before.
He was considered better than him. So this all makes sense that Ben Bredeson is probably going to be, that starter. And the fact that we gave up a 4th round pick, he was a 4th round pick, and we gained a 5th and a 7th as well. I like it. It makes a lot of sense. And I really like the trade. I really like Benny B.
Mm-hmm. And then Viz, I'm disappointed in you. Damn. Anyway, this man, I swear, Aaron Thomas has 1 bad game, bro.
Oh God.
1 bad game,
bro. Did you see him get his salad toss, bro?
Oh nah, yo, Alex Wilson is wild. This man does not know slang to save his life, bro.
Oh my God, and he thought he did something, bro. I was like, yo, you serious, bro? Everybody was laughing at you, bro.
Bro, for those of you that don't know, Alex Wilson posted a tweet that said, Andrew Thomas is out here getting his salad tossed on the field. I'm like, yo, you don't know what that means, bro. I'm going to need you to stop right there. You're using that incorrectly, bro. And, everybody in the comments was absolutely killing him. But getting back to the to Ben Bredeson here. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he beats out Shane Lemieux. You know, to be honest with you, if he beats out Shane Lemieux, I'm all with it. I feel like some Giants fans might be a little attached to Shane. And I'm like, all right, but you know what, give it some time. Ben might actually be a better thing, and it makes sense. These trades make sense because we got a potential starter, and at this point, what it's looking, if Shane Lemieux's out, he is going to be a starter. The only thing that worries me is chemistry, but that could be built over time. While I do think automatically he might be better as of right now, and we'll see how that goes, we all know Thomas has good chemistry with Lemieux, so I'm hoping he has good chemistry with Ben Bredeson. We'll see what happens when week 1 comes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But another thing about him is that we have 2 really good backups now. We cut basically our entire line in terms of backup line, and we gained 2 really, really good guys. I know Billy Price at this point in his career is a bust, but once again, he's been improving, and he's still – listen, he was better than Ted Larson, all right? He was better than Kenny Wiggins. He was better than anybody you could name on our backup line. The only guy I didn't really like that we cut was Jonathan Harrison. I'm slowly starting to get over it, but I still wish we kept him. What do you think about that?
As far as Jonathan Harrison goes, you're right. They probably should have kept him. Especially, didn't they pay him a decent amount of money? Like not great money, but like over $1 million, right? Didn't they like $2 million or something like that near there? So I'm confused.
Yeah,
of
for a
why,
backup, I guess it was a decent amount of money. Yeah.
Yeah, for a backup. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know why you pay him all that money just to cut him. Or maybe he didn't get that guaranteed money as it is anyway. I don't know. Maybe it was a money situation. Maybe it was like, hey, we can keep guys on a cheaper contract. And keep him around. So I don't know. As far as Jonathan Henderson goes, I'm not really mad about it.
You're not really mad about it. It was, he was like the only healthy and consistent backup lineman we had.
Yeah, but as far as getting these two guys in there and Bredesen and Lemieux and Price, I like that. And then having Nate Solder as the swing tackle there, like you have some experience there, and I like it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you could get. I don't know if Jonathan Harrison is any better or worse than Billy Price and Bredesen. So.
Shout out to Edward in here. Brooklyn, what's up? It's been a minute. Jalen.
Bobby,
in here
Bobby,
as
you
well.
you would know a lot about tossing salads, don't you, buddy?
Yo, hey, wait. I need to know the context of what you're saying right here, bro.
You heard what he said? You saw what he said?
Yeah. Oh, I see it.
Who's tossing salads in here?
Jared in here as well.
His ears went up when he heard that.
This man's wild. Shout out to another wild man, Tudo Azuri for the $5 super chat. He says, "Salute Kush Pisano. Drop by your office to pay our proper respects for all Eagles, for all Giants fans around the world. Slop all Eagles fan losers." All right, let's talk about the 53-man roster because the chat just cannot wait. The chat can't wait. So we're gonna get to your questions, and there's already been a bunch of questions. I'm gonna scroll up and get to as many as I can. But just first, just give me all your thoughts about 53-man roster, who got cut, who was brought back in today, and stuff like that.
Okay, so the biggest thing for me that I'm still upset about because of what I heard today as well. I am so upset we got rid of Corey Clement. I am pissed. I am not happy with that. I don't like that we got rid of Corey Clement, and the fact is that he went to the Cowboys today. That makes me even more pissed off. So I'm not happy in the slightest bit when it comes to that. Listen, he was the most consistent running back we had on the roster. Honestly, he looked better than Devontae Booker, but of course we paid Devontae Booker some decent money. He's got to stay around. So Corey Clement, I know he fumbled that one time, so I really don't know why we got rid of the guy. But we did. And we elected to keep Gary Brightwell on the roster, which I'm not too mad about that we keep Gary Brightwell, but he is a practice squad guy. He should be a practice squad guy. If you want to keep around Gary Brightwell, he's your draft pick, 6th-round pick, usually on the practice squad at this point. And so, you get rid of Clement, you keep on Gary Brightwell, and then you have 2 fullbacks on the roster. Are you freaking kidding me, bro? I'm not, I was not that mad about it, but now I'm starting to get a little bit heated about it as I keep thinking about it. And we got 2 fullbacks on the roster, and Eli Penny, although he's like a running back too, a running back as well, not running back too. He's a running back as well as a fullback. Just pick one, Cullen or Eli Penny. You gotta pick one.
Well, and don't you like how Penny's been running lately?
I love how Penny's been running. That's why I think he should be the fullback and do something with Cullen. I mean, I don't know why are we keeping around 2 fullbacks and then our running backs, even though with a banged up Saquon Barkley, we don't know if he's gonna come back at full strength. We're gonna have Eli Penny and Devontae Booker and Gary Brightwell as our backups. Not Corey Clement, and then you let him go to the freaking cow. Oh my God!
Hold up.
I'm getting heated now.
Hold up.
Listen, if Ezekiel Elliott goes down,
this is ridiculous, bro.
Listen to me. If Ezekiel Elliott goes down, and then the Cowboys split carries with Tony Pollard and Corey Clement, and Corey Clement looks like a freaking beast, especially against us, I'm gonna be pissed, bro.
I think you're forgetting one thing. He only looks like a beast when he's playing against us, bro. When he's playing against everybody else, he looks like what he's supposed to look like.
He was good in this whole preseason process. Even in practice, he was looking good.
According to Eagles fans, he always looks good in preseason and practice. So take that as you will.
So what? The Giants are listening to Eagles beat writers? Why'd you even sign him?
Oh my God, this dude, bro.
God.
This guy. Okay, first of all, shout out to Harrison. I'm glad you had a good day, bro.
Don't tell me you're liking this move, dude.
Huh?
Don't tell me you're liking.
It's not about a matter of liking it. I'm just like, all right.
2 fullbacks, bro.
Bro, okay. Let's analyze the situation real quick, right? Because The overarching thing is that they put heavy, heavy emphasis on special teams. You know what I'm saying? At first, at least, when they selected Board over Sills, but then they brought Sills back in and then they cut Board. Dante Pettis was also cut. Did they bring back Board? I can't tell because we cut it.
They brought back Board.
They brought back Board, right?
No, I don't think to the active roster though.
Not to the practice squad. Was it to the practice squad?
I'm not sure. I have to let me look that up.
Either way, between Board and Sills, the decision.
Oh yes, I'm sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you. I think we got rid of Dante Pettis, brung in Colin Johnson. I don't know. Damn it. And then I think CJ Board and Colin Johnson are on this active roster. I think.
Okay then, he's on the active. Sills is not. What was the decision? The decision there. Special teams. Gary Brightwell over Corey Clement. It's very clear. Special teams. Cullen Gillespie is literally just a special teams fullback because we have a fullback in Elijah Penny. All this is screaming is that they're putting heavy emphasis on that part of the football for some reason. And I personally, I mean, I've said it, I hope I see a massive improvement for us to base some of our, roster moves just completely on who's going to be providing more special teams. But I think you're getting too worked up about Clement, bro. Like, what was he really going to do for us? And I admit, I liked him a lot as well, you know what I'm saying? I loved what he showed me during the first 2 preseason games. But then when we saw the 3rd preseason game, Brightwell looked just as good as him. Dare I say Eli Penny looked just as good as him.
Let me tell you one thing, and this is why I was kind of like soothed by the fact, or like kind of like compliant or tolerating the fact that Corey Clement got cut. Gary Brightwell looked good, although he didn't get a lot of opportunities and he only had like 4 carries for 10 yards. It looked bad on paper, but the way he was running the ball was very, very nicely, and he catches the ball pretty smoothly. Like for a bruiser back, and he had a question about catching the ball out of the backfield. It doesn't seem like much of a question anymore that he's doing that well, but that is exactly why I wanted Corey Clement to stay. Listen, man, I'm a running back guy. Okay, when I look at a running back group, I always like to have a mixture of all the types. Right? You got your bruisers, you got your scat backs. You got your guys that could do both maybe, but I like to have that variety there. Corey Clement is a guy that's shifty out the backfield, can make you miss, can bounce it outside, and catch the ball out the backfield and do it well. Okay, I know he has drop issues. I know he even has fumbling issues, okay? But that's something that we dealt with Wayne Gallman, and he found a way to figure that out. What I like about Corey Clement is that on 3rd downs, who are we going to throw out on 3rd down, dude? I mean, Saquon Barkley is great. I love Saquon Barkley, but sometimes you need to break. You're going to throw out Gary Brightwell on 3rd down, or what are you going to do on 3rd down? You're going to put Devontae Booker. These guys don't catch the ball well out the backfield like Corey Clement does on a 3rd down and short or something like that. So, I don't know, man. I feel like Corey Clement could have been used for those situations, give him about 40, 50 carries, and, have him a part of this offense and kind of do it a little bit like committee because, we got to see what Saquon Barkley is coming back.
I'm sorry. I just completely disagree. I'm going to have to just completely disagree. And Harrison, don't worry about it. Brooklyn's a troll, bro. All right? Don't worry about it. There is no Collins todays, though. All right? Collins is only on Tuesdays. You're all good, bro. You're the homie. You're all good. But I'll say this on I'm sorry. I completely disagree with you, bro. Corey Clement honestly was going to be our 3rd back, right? If he did make the roster. He was going to be our 3rd back. 1. 2, the speed that he brought, and because that's what we noticed most out of him in preseason, speed and burst. I was surprised to see was the speed and burst that Gary Brightwell brought, except Gary Brightwell's on a much cheaper contract, and Gary Brightwell's also going to be playing a lot of snaps on special teams. So it just makes more sense to have, and we saw Gary Brightwell's receiving skills in the preseason game as well.
But say in a regular season though, when it's all down the line, and then I mean, I know we want to throw out Saquon Barkley in every situation out there, but it's not going to happen all the time. On 3rd down, when you needed someone to catch the ball at the backfield that, won't drag as much attention as the Saquon Barkley will, you're going to put Gary Brightwell on a 3rd down and 5 to catch the ball? I mean, I don't know.
3rd down and 5, I'm putting Saquon Barkley in there.
Yeah, but not all the time. Like, when you want a situation where you want to pass short, defenders are going to go to Saquon Barkley to – nobody's going to go to Gary Brightwell, but still, are we going to throw Gary Brightwell on a 3rd down and 5 where we want to pass it short and not look like that we're going to pass it short, where we want to clear out? Say, all right, Evan Ingram.
The only reason I'm having a hard time imagining the situation where Brightwell will be put in there at all, man, when you have Barkley and Booker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Booker doesn't catch the ball at the backfield. If you want a running back sort of play on a third down. Yeah, he said Diggy's right. Kadarius will take those reps, and maybe I'm forgetting about him as well. And I
Shout
like
out
that.
to Diggy.
And I
in
actually
here.
like that point that you made, Diggy. Maybe that's kind of why they elected not to really get too much back end talent as far as running backs go, and they keep fullbacks on there because they got Kadarius Toney make those plays in the backfield as well. So I don't know, man. It's not good. It's not. I like Corey Clement. I had high hopes for him this year, so that's why I was very excited when we
Respectfully,
signed him.
respectfully, all
Oh,
right. I'm just disagree with you, bro. Did Corey Clement give you like a box of chocolates or something, man? Like, why are you so hung up over him?
listen, man. You know what? I wasn't even as mad about it until I figured out that he went to the Cowboys. You know how many times, we were just talking about. I was just talking about this on Twitter when it came to Quincy Roche, and we were kind of comparing him to like Cameron Wake about when the Giants trashed him. It's like this happens to the Giants all the time, dude. We get rid of players that we feel like aren't going to be anything, and they freaking ball. Like, Cameron Wake all the way back then when we tried him out, and we didn't keep him after a freaking preseason. After a preseason session or whatever, we let him go, and he's like one of the best pass rushers the Dolphins ever had. Like, what the hell, dude? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want that situation to happen. I don't want Corey Clement to go out there and ball out for the freaking Cowboys.
I can
For the
assure
Cowboys, bro.
I can assure you that Clement will perform well against us because it's in his DNA. But that's all he's gonna do. I could
Durant
put
said
I could
KB
put
just scared for the
a
unlikely.
case of Mountain Dew on that.
Duran, you literally said, we were literally talking about how Corey Clement only does well against the Giants. He's playing with Dallas. You said the unlikely event that Clement will burn us with Dallas. That is a likely event. Okay? If he winds up burning us.
Bro, but like he's been doing that for years though.
Exactly. That's why I wanted him on the team, bro.
Oh, Corey Clement, you're acting like Corey Clement is about to hang 40 on our heads and knock us out the playoffs. That's what you're acting like right now.
Listen, he has capabilities, all right? Look what he did in the damn Super Bowl, okay? Listen, they had nobody in that Super Bowl, and he put the team on his back. He's like Greg Jennings, bro. He put the team on his back.
I won't lie to you there. He's their Super Bowl hero.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You
But
gotta have those kind of people.
nah, man, you're way too hung up on it, bro.
I know
fine.
Mike Nixon. Said he does cut the ball at the backfield. And listen, it's not a matter of catching the ball at the backfield because any running back can catch the ball at the backfield. It's a matter of making those guys miss. Devontae Booker does not have the elusive ability a Corey Clement has, and
Saquon and Kadarius.
I get it, dude. You guys, hold on, but everybody thinks that Saquon Barkley is gonna have 30 freaking carries this year every game.
No, oh my God, he's gonna have his regular 20 to 25, bro.
It's not gonna be.
Like,
it's not gonna be.
we're forgetting,
dude.
right?
I promise you.
Let's talk about this for a second. We're forgetting 20 carries for your number one running back is not a lot. Because people are forgetting how much we were complaining with Pat Shurmur underutilizing Saquon, and he was averaging around 20. I think he's gonna get around 20 again.
Kush, he's not gonna get 20 carries this year. I'll put my life on that.
So you're telling me he was already getting underutilized by Shurmur, and you're telling me he's gonna be even more underutilized
because of his injury. They're not gonna. He's not gonna get 20 carries. I guarantee you that. Look at the money that we gave Devontae Booker, dude.
He's completely healthy right now. As we're speaking, he's completely healthy.
All right, we'll see.
As we are speaking right now, Saquon Barkley is completely healthy.
I want them to use Saquon, but listen, I want them to use Saquon, but with the fact that how much they're babying him right now means I think they're gonna baby him during the season too.
Yo, Edward, 20 carries. We need to nip this in the bud. 20 carries is not a lot for a starting running back. I don't know. The only reason Giants fans have that in their head is because it's what Saquon's been having. But a starting running back has like 25 carries a game. More than 25.
No, not really, dude. Not really, dude.
All right, let me pull this up.
If you have 25 carries a game and you're starting running back consistently, that means that you're either Adrian Peterson or you're not. You don't have a good yards per carry. Unless they're just giving you the ball to get 3 yards or 2 yards every play, like freaking Andre Williams. I mean, if you get 25 carries a game,
I bet you right now, like the top 7, top 8 backs in the league all get like around 25 carries a game.
I mean, maybe 25 touches. I don't think 25 carries a game. Because remember, you're not even including passing.
I'm not. Give me. Who do you think is like the 5th best running back in the league? Let me pull up their stats.
5th best running back.
5th or 6th.
5th or 6th. Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Okay, let's Nick Chubb stats.
Let me mute this real quick.
What happened? So let's go to Nick Chubb stats. Nick Chubb is, you're smart. You try to catch me off guard because Nick Chubb is right there with Kareem Hunt. They literally split it 50-50 almost.
They weren't 50-50. Nick Chubb had a bulk of those.
But you gotta give me somebody else though, because like Kareem Hunt is there.
But you want me to give you somebody like Derrick Henry or Alvin Kamara, and
Well, Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara are not the fifth best running backs. They're above that.
Well, I don't even think Kamara is a great running back, but I love Alvin Kamara. But I don't know. You have to go down the list, dude. I don't know. We didn't say Joe Mixon. At least Ezekiel Elliott, maybe.
All right, let's
Try
see
Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, that's probably a bad example because they ran the freaking.
They what?
They ran him down the freaking tunnel, dude. Ran to the ground. But
anyway,
I mean,
maybe this was a bad idea. But I personally think 20 carries a game is not that much.
I think 20 carries is exactly where you should, where running backs should take, and it's not as little as you're talking about. I think 20 carries is almost exceeding where a running back should. Because if you are good at running the ball, you shouldn't even need 20 carries a game. If you're good at running the ball and utilizing your running backs, you shouldn't need 20 carries.
That's the thing with Saquon though. We know how he runs.
I know what you're saying. He's a home run guy. He's a home run guy. I know, and I know you're getting at there. But if your running back is getting 25 plus carries a game, that means
I'm not saying he should get that. I'm saying he should get 20.
Yeah, but I know, but like it's not normal for 25 a game. It's not.
Nah. Anyway, we're moving on from this. Nah. Hold up. We got to get back to the 53-man. I'm scrolling literally all the way up to the beginning of the chat here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Stay safe, guys, because I'm seeing events from all the way to the beginning saying it's raining. The weather is crazy. I think it's like the second hurricane. Stay safe, guys. I hope you guys are all good out there.
Yeah, the Saints are playing in Jackson. Saints are playing in the Jacksonville Stadium on week 1.
Yeah. So your Rod says, what's your week 1 score prediction? Because there was a tweet going around of quote unquote NFL experts. Like mad at them had the Giants losing. One of them had the Broncos dropping 33 on our defense, and I was just like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I seen that. Freaking MJD had it 27-13. You think Teddy Bridgewater is gonna hang 27 points on our freaking defense? Are you mad, bro?
I don't know.
Mad?
He fell off something, bro.
I don't know. And listen, we only have Colleen Wolfe. Colleen Wolfe's okay. You know what about Kate Adams? What does she think about it? I don't know.
Hey, you sleeping on Colleen Wolfe, but that's besides the point.
Nah, bro. She look like
what's your score prediction?
Super
early, yeah.
Super early. Oh, it's not even super early anymore. It's a week away, some change. But let's see. I'm gonna have the Giants winning because I'm sorry. I know Denver's defense is good. I just don't know if Denver could put it all together. I think we're very, very evenly matched with that team. I know. I'm sorry, but I honestly think that. So I'm going to say the Giants pull off such a scrappy win. It is not going to be pretty whatsoever. It's going to look like our offense is going to look like crap. Their offense is going to look like crap. It's going to be one of those things. And it's going to be 17-13. 17-13 Giants.
Okay. I have a very similar score. I'm thinking 27-17. I mean 23-17. 23-17, yeah.
Okay.
So very similar. I just think that maybe we get like an extra touchdown in or something like that. Maybe Graham Gano really just kicks his foot off, and that's how we get all the points or whatever. But yeah, no, I'm seeing the same thing. Very close, very scrappy game. I really don't want to get into it because that's gonna be obviously the Young Guns episode right before the week 1 comes. And now people want us to talk about the cuts about today. Somebody was saying Dante Pettis, C.J. Board, and Trent Harris got cut. Now, Dante Pettis was not added back later in the day. C.J. Board was added back later in the day. And Trent Harris was not added back. I'm more surprised by us cutting and letting Trent Harris go to anything else. And he was cut specifically to make space for Quincy Roche. And I think we both like Quincy Roche. So first, give me your thoughts on that, and then your thoughts on Trent Harris basically being a free agent now.
Yeah, I love Quincy Roche. I made a video just before we did this podcast just to put my thoughts out there. I love Quincy. Me and you both love Quincy Roche. How many times did we talk about and rave about it when we did these?
Bro, back in January, I was like, yo, Quincy Roche out of Miami, let's get him in the 3rd or 4th round. That wouldn't be bad.
Right. Right, and a lot of people are saying, "Hey, this guy has a possibility of being better in the NFL than Greg
Mm-hmm.
Rousseau." So we're on the same wavelength when it comes to that. Like, I'm so excited that we have Quincy Roche, but I'm a guy that likes to be fair. In you earned your job, you earned your spot on the
Trent Harris
roster.
more than earned his job,
Yeah,
bro.
he definitely earned his spot, and Trent Harris is a veteran in the league. I'm sure he'll probably get picked up with some other team, but now he has to try to fight his way. Like, I felt like, all his energy was wasted. For what? How do you have this whole competition between him and Ifeadi Odenigbo? He wins, and you still get rid of him. Like, what would you want him to do? Freaking have 9 sacks a game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love Quincy Roche. I feel like we should let somebody else go. I don't even know who that would be. Don't even ask me. I don't know. But to get Quincy Roche, I just didn't want to be at Trent Harris' expense. Trust me. Let me tell you one thing. I completely disregarded Trent Harris, him being on that name on the roster, before preseason started and before training camp started. I completely disregarded his name. I'm like, okay, he's going to be the guy, one of those veteran guys that get cut like Ryan Anderson. Like, I didn't care about Ryan Anderson either. So I was like, okay, one of these guys going to be cut. Ifedi's going to be up, Ellerson Smith, all these guys, Aziz. And he earned his spot. We were finding ourselves calling out his name multiple times in the preseason, him doing well.
In
And
training
so,
camp, in joint practices,
yeah.
in preseason games, he showed up in all 3 parts of the offseason that he needed
Yeah.
to show up in.
And so now to see him go for a guy in Quincy Roche who's a rookie, I mean, this is his second team, but he's a rookie. I mean, unless they really – one thing I will tell you about this Giants coaching staff – I'm sorry about going on too many tangents here, but one thing I will tell you about this Giants coaching staff is they are very confident in their coaching ability. Look at the youth that we have here. Look at this, I guess, the quote-unquote sleepers that we have on this roster right now, and what we're doing, letting veterans go and keeping younger guys in there. That shows a good confidence in a coaching staff, and I actually respect it that they say, hey, we can get something out of these guys. They're borderline, very good potential players, but haven't really hit their stride yet, like Quincy Roche. He was a guy, like you said, probably the 3rd or 4th round talent. He wound up being picked up in the 6th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Was let go, had 1.5 sacks in the preseason, had like 2 or 3 quarterback hits, one or 2 tackles for loss. He was looking good. So I like Quincy Roche, but like, is he really going to contribute as a rookie 6th round pick? Then Trent Harris would have. I don't know.
Shout out to Engraven. He said, I didn't know y'all had Graham Gano. Engraven. Graham Gano came to us last year and had his best year of his career,
Whoa!
bro.
Engraven, you really didn't know that,
Graham the GOAT Gano,
hey,
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Graham the Godfather Gano. Bro, this man only missed, 1 extra point and 1 field goal all year?
Hey, if you guys need a fantasy kicker, tell me how I had my fantasy draft, right?
Yeah.
And, everybody rags on me for being a Giants fan. There's Bucks fans, Jags fans, even Eagles fans there. I picked up with my last pick because nobody I want was there and the value wasn't there. So I'm like, and I saw a couple kickers go off the board. And I'm like, let me pick up my guy Graham Gano. They said, who the hell is Graham Gano? I said, oh, you guys must not know. I probably could.
Listen, I know nobody pays attention to kickers, but like, he was like the 2nd best kicker in the league last year, bro.
In my fantasy draft, Justin Tucker went in like the freaking 6th round.
Jesus Christ.
In my fantasy draft, like they know about these great kickers, but they don't know about Gano. It's all right. They gonna find out.
It's fine. Listen, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
like I said, missed 1 extra point, 1 field goal all year, and that was when he had COVID.
And by the way, Graven, what's going on, bro? What's going on? I watched your video on Bredesen too. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I got to see the Bredesen video as well. I really want to know your thoughts. If you can, drop your thoughts in the chat for everybody to see. And Graven is a Ravens fans, guys. So if you're not comfortable for some reason hearing what me and KB said about Bredesen, how he has potential, he's a good guy, he was just stuck behind what seemed to be a stacked line, maybe you'll take it from a Ravens fan. And shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. He says Getty's had 4 years and hundreds of millions of dollars to spare to rebuild the New York Giants with significant improvements. No more excuses, and time's up after the first game's results. What do you think?
Say that again.
The super chat, basically. Can you see the super chat?
Okay, super chat. It's fair. Rebuild. Significant for no more excuses. Okay. No, after the first game results, no. Although I will say the Giants are very evenly matched with the Denver Broncos, we're facing a very, very good defense. All right, this is one of the top secondaries in the NFL. Our secondary is very good. This is a better secondary. Okay, I'll put my pride aside in saying that they have a better secondary than us. Their edge rushers are better than us.
Hold up. Let's compare these secondaries real quick. Let me hear
look,
you break down
bro,
our
are
two
you
secondaries.
crazy, bro? Look at their secondary.
Let me hear you break it down.
Listen, James Bradbury is great. I love James Bradbury, but our corners are potential guys in the later, down the depth chart, right? Like Adoree and James are great, but they have freaking Pat Surtain. They got Kyle Fuller. They got Bryce Callahan too, who graded so well again in the slot last year. I'm forgetting somebody else. I'm getting one more person. They have 4 good corners in there. That's all I know. 4 really, really good corners, starter talent. And they have freaking Justin Simmons, and who's arguably like a top 3 safety in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly think that
I think they
have
just
a better secondary.
it just sounds like they have a more top heavy secondary to me. I still think we might have a deeper one.
Probably, but it's not like it's not like it's gonna be a battle of the
depth, yeah.
A battle of the depth in week 1. Maybe later on in the season when guys get hurt, maybe. But I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be the best guys. Everybody put their best foot forward, and I just think their secondary is better. Obviously, their edge rushers are better. There's no saying that. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are one of the best duos at pass rushing in the NFL right now. So it's gonna be a challenge, man. It really is gonna be a challenge, and hopefully all our guys are back. Evan Ingram, Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney. They should. What I'm hearing, they should be ready for week 1.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. And Saquon as well. So we'll see. But to say that all of our freaking progress and it all boils down to week 1, no, bro. If we were facing a weaker opponent and we lose, maybe then we should be talking about that. But first of all, week 1, a lot of teams get off to a slow start. And the Giants do. The Giants only won their week 1s like twice in the past 15 years. Okay, so it never happens. But we always get off to a slow start. So
I'm just gonna say, if we get off to a slow start this year, it's over. If we get off to 1 and 2, or God forbid 0-2 in the first 2 weeks, it's over. We need to be at the very least 1-1, because I really do think we're dropping a game against Washington Thursday night, man. I'm one of the only people that thinks that. It's a short week, and I really have a feeling we are gonna split with them this year. If we sweep again, then thank God, we continue to own them. But I feel like we might split with them. And they have a better shot at winning against us earlier in the year than I feel week 18 at home, where the team's going to come out with everything.
Logically, I would agree with you, man. But it's I've seen so many – because everybody's talking about Washington's defense. And I know their offense is good too, and that's probably where your thought process is too, because they're more of a balanced team now. But how many years are we going to see the Washington have one of the best defenses on paper and they don't do anything? Although they were really good last year – I don't think they're going to be the best in the NFL. I don't even think they're going to be top 5. Why do I say? Although their roster looks really good, their injury staff is retarded. Okay, their injury staff is terrible. Okay, Trent Williams said that. That's why when he left, he said that their injury staff is terrible. One of the biggest injuries that they have on that team is defense. Their linebackers go down and they never come back. And their secondary too. Their edge rushers. I mean, they're everywhere. Everybody, dude. They always get hurt. Washington always gets their guys hurt, and their injury staff is just terrible. So I don't think Washington defense is going to be as good. I would hope that we sweep them. I mean, it's debatable that we'll split with them. So I guess I don't really argue with that, because it is debatable, and I don't blame anybody for thinking that we will split. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Washington's way too ahead of themselves.
Oh, really?
They gotta slow down. Yeah, they gotta slow down. And you see the Washington fans chirping too.
And
the only reason why they win division is because when all the other teams are terrible. Okay, you look at this year. You look at 2014. 2014, the Dallas Cowboys went 4-12. All right, so that's the only reason why Washington went up there. But yeah, I don't think Washington's gonna do any better than us this year.
Shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. He says, never blame a bad or losing game on the players. If the food tastes awful, the chef's fault, not the ingredients. So he's going to say it's the coach's fault, basically, is what he's alluding to. And New York Finest, real quick, he says, thoughts on Quincy Roche. You came in literally right after we gave it. Me and KB are both happy to have him. We both wanted him on the Giants, or, potentially as a player the Giants should have drafted. It's just that, which was going back to even the original discussion, was we're not sure if we like necessarily getting Roche but then dropping Harris to make space for him, when you could have dropped Sam Beal to make space for him. So yeah,
that's a guy that really just, when we were talking about the 53-man roster that we didn't bring up, Sam Beal made the roster. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Go ahead.
I don't
think anybody expected it.
Yeah, I that's crazy. he had freaking a quarter of a good game in the third
Against
preseason
the
game.
Patriots, yeah.
Yeah, a quarter of a good game, and that made him. One thing I will tell you that Dave Gettleman is a very prideful guy. Okay, if he makes a move on somebody, he will make sure
You
that
see,
at the end
this
of
is
the
where I'm
day,
gonna disagree. Cause Sam Beal made the
what do you think?
roster, and all of a sudden it's Dave Gettleman, bro.
No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that. Okay, the coaching staff too as well. I understand that it's a joint effort there, but I find no coincidence. Any other player would have been freaking cut by now. We spent a third round supplemental draft pick on this guy, which equates to a third round pick in the road draft to get this guy, and he's been
All I'm saying is you got to
flat
put
out a
equal blame
bust.
on Judge, because Judge has been also not exactly putting Sam Beal down. If anything, he's been talking him up whenever
Yeah,
he's
I
asked
mean,
about him.
I don't know. I'm not a Sam Beal guy, dude, at
Not
all.
am I, but yeah.
So I feel like somebody else could have made a roster spot instead of them, but
But yeah, I didn't even get to actually give my thoughts on the Trent Harris thing, where I agree with you. I mean, I love Quincy Roche. There's only so many times I could say, yes, I really want him on this team. I'm glad that we got him for basically nothing, claiming him off of waivers. We
yep.
know the reason he got cut by the Steelers is because they're stacked at the edge position.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? It kind of going back to just like Ben, how the Ravens had really good O-linemen ahead of him, and then for us trading away BJ, we had really good defensive tackles ahead of him. You know, Quincy Roche is somebody with a lot of talent. I even said it in my video today, and a couple people disagree with me, but I really do believe this. There's like a whole bunch of Giants fans that are big believers in Ellerson Smith. I believe Quincy Roche is better and has the potential to be better. That's just me. That's just me. Yeah, like I said, there's a good amount of Giants fans that are believers in Ellerson Smith. And even if I'm wrong, it's going to be very fun and if we keep him, that is, and very nice to see both him and Ellerson grow, because they're kind of the opposite players. Like Roche doesn't have the athleticism or size that Ellerson has, but he has really good technique. And then for Ellerson, he doesn't have the technique that Roche has. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be really fun to watch them play and grow together. But I really don't like dropping Trent Harris for that. Somebody that's really earned his spot. Somebody who, once again, we've been calling his name for a month, 2 months straight now. We've been noticing him. We've been seeing he's putting in the work. He earned his spot. He just did everything right, and you know he was cut for a younger dude that's yet not yet proven. For all that I like Roche, Harris is proven, in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree. I really thought Trent Harris deserved to make this roster. It really tells you like what the hell did this guy need to do to make the roster? You know,
Mhm.
he did enough to me.
And shout out to Tudo for another $5 super chat. He says if players' moves and techniques are incorrect and wrong, then it's all the coach's fault 100%. Coaches are responsible for recruiting, schemes, training, and practices. I mean, yeah, that's facts. I won't disagree with you there. What about you?
It is facts, but I mean, just based off Tudo's last two super chats, I think he pretty much put everything on the coaches. The players have to take some accountability too. They're professionals. They're playing in the NFL. They got it like Eric Flowers for like you could lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could do everything you can for a player, but if they don't listen and they don't execute, or if they don't really put into practice what you're trying to teach them, then it's on them. That's on the players.
Hmm. And then Brian says Saquon will get 8 to 10 carries week 1. They'll ease him in and up his usage each week. We have to win Denver game. If we lose, we could be 0-2. Can't have that. I'm pumped though. I'm optimistic. With literally the last 3 lines, I completely agree with you. That's what both me, KB, have been saying. The first one with easing Saquon in and his carries is going to be completely up to the coaching staff, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think the smart thing to guess is going to be that they're going to ease him in. But I don't know, because once again, I am one of the few people that is convinced that Saquon's fully healthy. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get full snaps, but he's fully healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. As far as Saquon goes in his carries, man, um, I I don't really know what the Denver game is really going to show how many carries he's going to be getting in these first 6 weeks.
Whoa,
Because I don't,
6?
yeah, first 6 weeks I don't think he's going to be a full workload. I
Really?
don't
That's
think.
a long time frame. That's a really long time frame.
I agree. I agree. I don't think he's going to get a full workload in the first 6 weeks because we don't. I listen, man. I want Saquon Barkley to play a full season, man. The only time he's played it is in his rookie season. I want him to play a full season, and if he winds up getting freaking, I don't know, 12 to 16 carries per game, I'll probably be okay with it. And I guess people could say that's a small workload. For for Saquon because of who he is, but 12 to 16 carries, maybe 4 or 5 receptions a game, I'll be okay with. But I don't think the first 6 weeks, I don't know if he's gonna be back to full. So now I don't know if I agree with 8 to 10. What you said, 8 to 10 carries?
He said 8 to 10.
That,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I think that's a little too low, especially if he's 100% and they're babying him right now. That means that means like he should be ready to go at least
Yeah, that
getting
they're
over
they're
10
doing
carries.
what they've been doing with Galladay and Rudolph, which is they're avoiding any and everything possible that could that could make them get
Right.
injured again. Speaking of
Right.
Galladay and Rudolph, before I get back, because there was other questions about the 53-man roster guys that you guys were asking. You could drop them once again, because and we will answer them. But quickly to talk about Galladay and Rudolph, what do you think about them and their progress with coming back for Week 1?
Galladay and Rudolph. I know Rudolph is back at practice, but Galladay, I think he was stretching with the team today.
He was out
Um,
there still catching, and he
yeah,
was doing
yeah,
he was doing like
catchable in
light jogs
non-contact.
after the catch instead of just
Yeah,
standing there.
I seen him and Saquon running routes when no defense is there, just kind of doing walkthroughs and stuff like that. So I think he'll be back Week 1. I honestly do think that. And if they're babying him, listen, he's a veteran. I don't think he should need a preseason. I know he needs one to get chemistry with Daniel Jones, but if Daniel Jones was not playing, I didn't want him to play. So if Daniel Jones only played a half anyway, so I don't know how much chemistry you're really going to get on Kenny Galladay for that. They could do that during practice. So, I think they'll all be back Week 1. No, I don't think any. Listen, I am so happy that this is the first season in a very long time that we don't have any major injuries yet. Let's cross our fingers. But usually by this time we got a couple people out for the year, so I'm completely okay with where we're at right now. Them babying these players, although I'm a little impatient, I'm completely okay with not seeing them on the field yet until Week 1.
Yo, shout out to Nikki in the chat, my very first member and 1 year straight of membership.
Snap.
As shown by the badge color, when it turns that purple, that's what's up. I didn't know it was your favorite color. That's kind of poetic in a sense, because my first ever member, and when it changes to that 1 year color, that's actually pretty cool. I thank you for being such a staple of the channel, Nikki. Like, you know what I'm saying? You in here almost every stream, very consistent with the membership. I really do appreciate you, man, as she's dropping all the emojis there. Hub Hall of Fame, Nikki. And shout out to Tudo.
What can she say? Nikki likes being on the hub. That's just, I'm just playing.
Shout out to Tudo for the $5
I had
super chat.
to. Sorry, Nikki. I had to. That was funny.
He says if the coaches don't know how to pick a good player and train him properly, then whose fault is it? I totally disagree with you, KB.
Let me see what he said there. That was one. No, sorry. If the coaches don't know how to pick a good player and train him properly, I think. Then whose fault? Okay, but at the same time, Tudo, you have to remember one thing. It's different if it's like a high school player you recruited or a college player you recruited, and you're trying to get him to. These are professionals, guys. They should already know what to do. They should take coaching and they should apply the coaching. Sometimes players aren't capable of doing what the coaches are asking them to do. That happens all the time. Not all players is the same. So although I do understand that a lot of coaches are very unsuccessful at getting everything out of their players because of their own coaching ability, I do understand that. But one thing I will understand is that if you got a good coaching staff and you got a couple of players that just can't catch on, that says more about the players than it does the coaches. So the coaches are doing what they got to do, but there's some bad apples in the bunch. You can't just blame the coaches. You can't put zero accountability on these players, because if you don't give them accountability, they're going to be lazy as hell. They're going to go around walking around like it's the coach's fault why they're not good, and they're going to be entitled as they are and just say, hey, I deserve a starting job and all this other stuff. You have to give these players accountability. You can't just sit there and say it's just the coaches. You can't. They're professionals. They get paid millions of dollars to play this game. You either take the coaching or you don't. Now, if you're incapable of doing what the coaches are asking you to do, you can't look at the coaches. If everybody else is doing it, if everybody else is taking the coaching fine, and you find yourself in a situation where you can't do what the coaches are telling you to do, that's on you, homie. That ain't on the coaches. So they're not there to cater to 90 people. They're there to cater to the people that need the help. But they're not there to cater to 90 people on that roster to make sure they're all playing well. There's some accountability when it comes to that. So.
And then I want to talk about the receivers. So initially, David Sills did not make the roster, I feel like a good amount of Giants fans were
The Sills
kind
army came a brewing,
yeah,
bro.
they were kind of in a riot a little bit, and we had Board, Pettis, and Ross ahead of him. Then today we cut Pettis to make space for Sills. Even though we cut Board, we literally signed him back a couple hours later. So what do you think about that whole move and Sills and Board being here?
Now putting it together, that's how we were able to keep. Because I was like, we have 7 receivers on this roster. How the hell did CJ Board make it back on the roster? Well, John Ross got put on the IR, so that takes off a roster spot. And now we have Colin Johnson and CJ Board in there, which is good. We got some height. We actually have some height on this team now, right? Kenny Galladay, CJ Board, Colin Johnson. Dude, Colin Johnson is 6'6".
Oh yeah, talk about that. We talked about Roach. The Colin Johnson pickup is under the radar too.
Johnson. I am so happy with this pickup here. Colin Johnson, I was talking to Visions. He commented on my video. Visions is a Jaguars fan, subscriber on the channel. He said the Jaguars stole Colin Johnson, and he was very upset that they let him go. He had 272 yards receiving last year. I guess his career is kind of looking like how Cody Latimer's was, right? He's a big target, only had maybe 250 yards receiving in his time with Denver. Same thing with Colin Johnson's time.
Well, Colin's only a second-year player as well.
Yeah, he's only a second-year player. 300 yards receiving in his first year. That's not terrible. As a guy that was a 6th round pick or something like that, 2 years ago, a year ago. So, I like, and especially 6'6". Like, you can't coach height. So I could understand everybody's going off about David Sills. I could understand why the Giants elected to take a guy in Colin Johnson rather than David Sills.
Sills is back on the roster.
Yeah, well, he's on the practice squad, but I understand that. But as far as the active roster goes, everybody wants him on the active roster, thinks that he's going to ball out. I love David Sills. He's a great story. I was saying that. But Colin Johnson is too good to pass up. First of all, I don't know where we're at as far as waiver claims go because I don't know how, that's not public. That's not out in the public. So I don't know where the Giants stand in waiver claims. But damn, how the hell did we wind up with 3 of those guys? Mm-hmm. How the hell did 3 of those guys fall to us in those waivers? We must have had the first waiver claim. We must have the first pick of the freaking waiver claims because how the hell did these guys pass through all these other all these other teams? Quincy Roche, Colin Johnson, and Justin Hilliard as well. So we'll see what happens. But yes, I'm very excited about Colin Johnson. 6'6", bro. 6'6", and has long arms.
Colin Johnson, like I put it in the vid today, his body, he knows how to use it well. Because of his long arms, his catch radius is kind of insane, bro. He has a great catch radius. He bullies, cornerbacks. He actually uses his size and bullies them. And very similar to Galladay in terms of, like, they're the same archetype. Remember, we were all saying one of the reasons we wanted still so much was because if Galladay is not in there, we'd have another similar build of receiver. Colin Johnson is more than a similar build than David Sills was because he also puts his body on the line when trying to make the catch. And we know Kenny Galladay puts his body on the line when making a catch. You just got to go look up a quick highlight to know that. He's very similar to him.
Remember when we were talking about Benjamin Victor last year and how he was so tall? He was like 6'4", 6'5". He was very tall, but what was his problem? He never used his height to his advantage.
He was also too skinny.
The ball, too skinny, not
like
strong
Johnson
enough.
has some muscle on him.
He would play so softly with these cornerbacks to let him be like he has that height. Use it. Colin Johnson does just that. You know what I'm saying? And he's 6'6", bro. Like, name a freaking defensive back that's gonna be taller than this dude, or have more of a height advantage on this dude, man. If he just gets aggressive and makes his way to catch that ball, who's gonna stop him? Nobody's stopping this dude. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love Colin Johnson.
Shout out to Tana in here. What up, Tana? Stand up. We got Jalen in here, King Tone, Max Webster, Damian Jackson, Benny, and Bobby. Bobby, I'm going to disagree with you here, but shout out for the $5 super chat. He says, I'm an active pro rugby player and my dad's an active coach. I don't think you know what you're talking about, Pasano. Forget about it. I disagree with you to a certain point because talent matters. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, talent does matter. And being a player that actually accepts coaching matters. Like, that does matter at some point. Coaching is a big part of it, and we saw that last year with Joe Judge. This team was not supposed to be, as good in terms of the product that we're putting out the field as it was. It was supposed to be worse than that. But because of coaching, everybody, they were brought to their fullest potential. So I'll agree with you there. But at a certain point, talent and having the ability to be coach comes in as well.
Right. And so let me ask you too, though. When your dad is coaching you up as a rugby player, are you blaming your dad for you not being as good? That's. So if you mess something up, do you blame your father for him not coaching you the right way? That's what I'll tell you. Or do you take self accountability and say, listen, I got to get better? You don't walk into a practice session, you don't walk into a game saying, damn, coach really needs to teach me this. Coach really messed me up on this. At some point you got to take some accountability and say, I got to do better. I got to hit that gym. I got to get, learn the playbook. I got to get, to the practice field. You know what I'm saying? If you depend your success on another person, let alone a coach or anybody, if you depend your success on somebody else, who are you? That's it. Who are you? What are you doing in your position if you think your success is dependent on everybody else around you? You got to take some stuff accountability. Otherwise, you shouldn't be there.
And
That's all I gotta say on the
shout out
matter.
to Sarcone and Sirach in here as well. Another thing on Colin Johnson, before we signed, because we did end up signing a tight end, I think Izzo is his name. Before we signed him, I briefly entertained the idea of, hey man, if this dude adds 20 pounds, why not have him as a move tight end? Who do you think?
Who? Oh,
Colin
Colin
Johnson.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would keep him at 6'8", like having that mismatch
You know why I brought it up? Back in the 2020 draft period, it was something that a lot of scouts suggested for him to
But
do.
he's
Kind
so
of like how,
skinny,
remember
though.
how, because
His
Claypool moved from
build
tight
is
end to
so
wide
skinny.
receiver, right?
No, people were talking about putting Claypool at
Oh, they were
tight
talking
end,
about
but
putting him at
he,
tight
no,
end.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a wide receiver.
Okay, yeah. So it
They
was
were
like it's like a
talking
similar
about it.
situation to that then, yeah.
Yeah. It's just that, see, I would more so understand Claypool's move to tight end if he did do that. But Colin Johnson's such a skinny build. Although he is 220 pounds, he's just a skinnier build. I don't think he would be a great tight end. But I'll take him being a mismatch nightmare as far as a 6'6" wide receiver all day, all day. Put him on the outside and let him work.
How do you feel about us cutting Pettis? Any feelings on that? ODP, bro, the legend.
Man, he's a guy that,
Eh,
remember, every time we talked about the wide receivers and who's gonna make this roster, Dante Pettis was always the odd man out. I'm like, I feel bad. I like Dante Pettis, but like, I don't think he was you know he's not saying he's terrible. Just that I think this roster is too packed for Dante Pettis. Yeah.
Are you surprised that it's kind of like the Trent Harris thing,
I'm
where
surprised we
I'm
kept
still
him.
surprised that we chose the younger guy over him, and I'm still not sure if it was the right decision. Even though I love Roche, don't get me wrong, I wish there was someone we could keep both him and Harris. It's
Right.
like the same thing. We basically chose Colin Johnson, the second-year player, over Dante Pettis.
Yeah. I mean, I I don't. Dante Pettis is fine, and I'm actually surprised we kept Dante Pettis. I'm more so surprised that we kept him
Hmm.
because I feel like even David Sills could have had a spot over him. Um, and so I don't know. As far as I go, I'm pretty indifferent about it. It is what it is. I don't think Dante Pettis should have made this roster. I don't think he did much in the preseason anyway to even warrant himself to make this roster. Besides the fact that he was a veteran, so like I said, I was surprised that he even made the roster.
Yeah, and then we cut Casey Crater, which for a second I saw you on Twitter.
Yo, yeah.
You were trying to make a good situation out of it, and I was just like, nah, bro, nah. I kind of, even though
You
you
didn't
were
think
saying
that?
it would be an efficient move, I disagree with what you were saying though.
So do you thought, even though it wasn't the case and they wound up bringing him back anyway, even though it wasn't the case, um, did you, if we were in a tight spot as far as keeping talent, would you not be okay with
No,
using
100%
one of
not,
the? Why not?
bro. First of all,
You can't touch a long snapper. They don't get hurt. You can't touch them.
okay, that's not the point. Let me finish. First of all, Casey Crater is one of the best at what he does at his position at a long snapper. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a Pro Bowler. He consistently comes in and does his job at the highest level possible. One. Two, we brought him in specifically for that reason because when we had a bad long snapper in 2018, Zach Diassi that was the worst year of his career. We had a bad kicking game all around. Long snappers matters. You know what I'm saying? Being a good long snapper, matters for your kicker. And we saw with the combination of having a Pro Bowl long snapper and a Pro Bowl kicker in Graham Gano led to. The man missed one kick all year and missed one extra point all year. It would have been, in my opinion, a stupid move. The Giants actually cut him and just let him go like that. He's one of the
I
best long snappers in the game.
I feel you on that. I feel you. But remember, the Giants got a little wacky with keeping two fullbacks. I really didn't see it as far fetched as them not keeping a long snapper. Although it wasn't the case, and they still have two fullbacks, which I think is stupid.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm a running back guy. I am a running back guy. I love my running backs. I love running the ball. I think it's straight up stupid that we have two fullbacks on the roster, and that's just me. I know people want to preach about special teams. I'll be the first one to talk about special teams. That's why I thought C.J. Board deserved a spot over David Sills. Trust me, I love special teams too. I think it matters. Two fullbacks on a roster is stupid.
No, I agree with you. I
If it,
agree with
if it
you.
was the
I think the
1930s,
explanation is special teams, but I agree with you. That's why I'm like, if this special teams this year is not ranked like top 10 or top 5, bro, I don't know. We made so many
right?
cuts based on like players' special teams ability.
They better be the best special teams freaking team out there, having two fullbacks out there. Golly, man.
Yeah.
But
And then let's see here. I'm trying to go through the moves. I think that was actually all the moves. Dante Pettis, Trent Harris being cut today. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Justin Hilliard. So we talked about Roche. We talked about Con Johnson. What's your thoughts on Justin Hilliard?
Justin Hilliard is probably the guy I'm most least excited about,
Hmm.
just because I think he's a good player. I think he's a fine player. I scouted him too, and I don't think he was terrible. I definitely don't think he should have been an undrafted free agent. I think he should have been drafted, but it's like, where is he gonna get played? Like, is he a special teams pickup? Because where the hell are we gonna put him on the field at? Like, our inside linebacking core is stacked. Like, we
Hmm.
have an edge rusher playing inside linebacker in Carter Coughlin right now. So where are we gonna put this guy? You know?
Hmm.
So I don't know. It is what it is. And by the way, Max, I'm feeling sick. I got a cold, and yeah, I don't want to show my face right now. I'm feeling sick, so
Right
you
now, if
can't
you go
hear on
to
the
our
voice.
depth chart on like ESPN, they still have Kyle Murphy listed as one of our guards and Ted Larson. I didn't actually know if we kept them. Can anybody tell me if that's accurate or not?
It's not.
And then, oh, somebody. Do you want to talk more on Sam Beal? Because if there's another person that I'm surprised made it on our 53-man roster,
Oh God.
it's
Yeah.
I'm surprised T.J. Brunson made it.
Wait, what? Brunson made the active roster?
He's on the depth chart right now. T.J. Brunson.
Well, if you're looking at the our lads, they're not updated.
No, I'm looking at ESPN.
Oh,
T.J. Brunson,
let me look at
an
that.
actual like inside linebacker that we drafted that was like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? What up, Miz? How you doing? Aditya in here. 3 dot. No call-in. Yo, y'all know the call-ins is only on Tuesdays, man. Y'all know this. But yeah, T.J. Brunson is currently listed there. How do you feel about Josh Jackson? And so we traded for him. Both of the cornerbacks we traded for, Keon Cross and making it as well.
Yeah, Keon Cross, the guys we traded for better have made the roster. Like, although I'm not very happy about the roster, they better have made the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, although I'm not happy about the trades too much, like the players, like Keon Cross, I thought was pointless to me. But the fact that we traded for them, they better make the roster. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I'll look at the linebackers here for TJ Brunson. No, TJ Brunson did not make the roster.
Where are you looking at?
The Giants' official
The
official
one,
roster.
the one from yesterday.
Yeah. Unless they signed him back on, but I didn't see nothing that they signed TJ
I
Brunson
bet
back
somebody
on.
let me know. In that case, ESPN, you
Can I
fooled
share
me.
my screen real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right here. Chrome tab. Where is it at? Which one did I? Ah, man. Is it this one?
What's
No.
happening?
What the hell is going on here?
You good?
There we go. Giants. Right. It's on Twitter. Yeah, that's what it was. Hold on. There we go. I was looking for the Giants website, but no, it's on Giants Twitter. But there we go. So there's the thing right there. You see it?
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
So
yeah. Well, this is the one from yesterday, right? Yeah. I see you. I see what you mean.
yeah. So
Cam
they only
Brown,
got
Lorenzo, Carter, Tay, Trent. Well, Trent is gone. Blake,
RIP Trent.
Aziz, Reggie, Smith. Smith should be on the pup or IR, right? One out of those two. And O'Shane.
Yes, Smith. As far as we know right now, Smith is not on the pup or IR yet, but I expect that to be happening soon.
Bro, here's my thing. Move Ellerson Smith to the pup, all right? And so for 6 weeks, add Trent Harris back, bro. Add Trent Harris back.
Oh yeah, all right. I would have mind that. I
I
wouldn't mind
mean,
that.
I don't know, man. Like O'Shane has been showing out. How do you feel about Zimenez, man? He's been having a good preseason. He's been having a good last couple of weeks as well. How do you feel about him going into the season?
Listen, man, I'm rooting for him. He's a guy I was very critical about this whole entire preseason and practice squad. I mean, practice training camp. But I'm optimistic, man. Just because I'm so critical about it doesn't mean I'm not rooting him on. I'm hoping that he has a good season. He did very well in the preseason. Actually, did a lot better than I thought he would. He actually had some really good plays in there, stopping the run. So and getting to the quarterback too, getting some pressure. So I'm excited to see what he's going to provide, man, to the team, man. He should be. They're probably going to wind up starting this dude, right? I don't think Aziz is going to start off right away. They're probably going to wind up starting O'Shane, but I think Aziz will find his way on. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to see right here real quick. Yeah, people were saying Ross is on IR.
Yeah.
Bro, all right, John Ross. All right. So he made the 53-man roster despite not even participating in anything the entire summer. How do you feel about that?
That dude just made the
He
team
made it
of
off of
attendance,
his
bro.
name, basically.
Yeah, he made it off a freaking hey, bro. I broke the scouting combine record for the fastest 40-yard dash, bro. That's exactly how he made it onto the roster. Listen, I said this.
All right, but how do you feel
It's
about it?
I'm telling you right now, I said this from when we signed him. I have zero expectations for John Ross on this team. I don't think he's gonna do anything for us at all. If he's on the active roster, I didn't even expect him to make it this far. I really didn't. When we signed him, everybody's like, "Oh, John Ross, we got John Ross." I'm like, "Listen, this guy's not gonna do anything," and so far he has not. So I don't even think he should have deserved to make the roster. And if they feel like that this guy needs to be put on IR, let him go. He's on IR right now. Is he even going to come back? Is he even going to come back?
So according to Miz, he's saying he's on IR for us to have room for another player.
Then cut him. Cut him. That's it. That's it. They're literally keeping like you just said, Coach. They're literally keeping him around because of his name, and he broke the damn scouting combine 40-yard dash record. That's all they're keeping him for.
Is the whole like low risk high reward possibility? So that's what it brings me back to this question. I mean, how much do you trust this coaching staff, bro? How much do you trust the coaching staff? Because let me finish. They're asking us to take a lot of leaps of faith, so to speak, this season with the O-line, which I'm willing to make because I could kind of see what they're doing there. Obviously with John Ross, with Sam Beal, with the defensive line as well. You know what I'm saying? They're asking us to believe that this D-line is going to be at the very least as good as it was last year, even though there's a lot of changing pieces, you know, with the edge rush, with the second linebacker spot, you know. So it's like it comes back to how much do you trust them?
I trust this coaching staff a lot more than I probably should. Like at any other coaching staff, and the fact that they did not address the offensive line, I would have been livid. But they're asking us to trust them, and I'm doing just that. I'm literally not even thinking about the offensive line as much as I probably should. I'm thinking about other positions as well. By the way, everybody's talking about John Ross, low risk, high reward, and how players just get injured. I hear this talking point all the time, and I'm going to lose my brain. You can't just keep saying that it's football, people get hurt. But you're not understanding, guys, that people get hurt a lot more often than other people. Okay, there's such thing as injury-prone players out there, and there's such thing as people literally not getting jobs, although they have all the talent in the world, not getting jobs because they get hurt every time. John Ross is one of those guys. John Ross is. Let me tell you right now. Here's what's scaring me about this New York Giants team. I don't think they care too much about getting injured players. They just want the talent, and because they want to see if it works out. That you should always take into account if a guy gets injured. We had injury speculations and injury concerns about the following players: Kyle Rudolph, Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, and John Ross. All four of these guys we had injury concerns the moment we drafted / signed them. And where are they right now? All of them are hurt. All right? All of them are hurt. Everybody said injuries happen every year. Injuries happen every year, but they should not happen to the same players over and over and over again. Why do you have this? The best ability is availability. All right? The best ability is the availability. This is one of the reasons why I was a little bit skeptical in even signing Kenny Galladay. A lot of people were Kenny Galladay all the way. I was too towards the end when talks started heating up, but I was willing to look in the Allen Robinson direction because of Kenny Galladay's injuries. I understand that football is a dangerous sport and people get hurt. But you guys got to stop using that excuse all the time. You can't just say this is football, people get hurt. Some people don't get hurt, okay? And I want the people that don't get hurt, because I don't care if you're a cornerback and you have the ability of Deion Sanders. If you never play, why do I have you? Why do I have you? I'm not here to brag and say I have Deion Sanders, but he's sitting on the couch because he's hurt. Not doing that. Not saying Deion Sanders got hurt. It was injury problem. Just saying Deion Sanders' talent level. If you have a guy Deion Sanders' talent level and he's always on the bench and he's always hurt and he's always in the cast and he's always sitting on the couch, then I don't want him. I don't. That's it. End of discussion. Period. Yeah,
Very strong feelings there. I mean, I agree with you as well in terms of the injury conversation. Yeah, everybody gets hurt. Listen, it's football. No team stays healthy from week 1 to week 17.
Right.
No team stays healthy. But there are guys that are more injury prone than others. Ross is one of those guys. The coaching staff is asking us to take a chance on him. And you know why I'm comfortable with it though, KB? Because we're currently 7 wide receivers deep on the depth chart, and then we have 4 wide receivers on the practice squad.
Right, and
they are
that's
very,
exactly
very, very deep on the wide receiver, which is why, you know what, I'm like, yeah, bro, go ahead. Keep John Ross.
Yeah, and that's why when we were talking about the 53-man roster, I didn't really bring him up because I don't really care about it too much. But if we were in a situation where we didn't have the depth for wide receivers and we're keeping this guy on for God knows what reason because he broke the damn 40-yard dash record, then I would be pretty pissed off. And I'm not mad about us keeping him, putting him on IR because of what you just said. We have depth, but I am mad about how Giants fans will defend every player that turns into a New York Giant. He's automatically a guy that does not get hurt, and he's automatically a guy that people defend when they do get hurt. How many times, dude? I made a video, and you guys say I hate John Ross. I don't hate John Ross because I made a video when John Ross trades were coming up if we should trade for John Ross before free agency. I made a video about that, and what were all my comments consisted of? No, he's a bust. He gets hurt all the time. He's never on the field. I bet you those same people that commented those words are the same people in this damn chat saying it's okay, injuries happen. You guys got to stop seeing with your blue lens, man. I love my Giants, and I love the players that play for the Giants. You got to be realistic, dude. It's like the only player that people consistently and unanimously hate is Evan Ingram. That's it. Like
Yo, why you bring up Evan Ingram? He's in the chat right now, bro.
I know that's exactly why I said
that. Hood classic.
That's exactly why I said that. But it's like, I gotta rant a little bit, man. This is like, listen, guys, you guys gotta stop thinking that every freaking Giants player is never gonna get hurt. / every single Giants player that does get hurt, you guys just have all the optimistic in the world that it's comeback season for him. No, it doesn't work like that. We've seen that plenty of times with guys that look at freaking John Beeson. John Beeson was a top 5 inside linebacker in the league, and he never played anything with us because as soon as he would play a snap, he would get hurt and he was out for the season. What do we remember John Beeson? Was he a pivotal defender for the New York Giants franchise? No, he could have been if he stayed on the field, but I'd rather not take a chance on a guy that consistently gets hurt over a guy that is more consistent with not enough talent and not as great talent, you know? Beeson was good when we traded for him. Yes, he was great, but he also dealt with injury concerns with Carolina, which is one reason why I was like, oh, damn, wasted talent. I knew John Beeson wasn't going to do anything for us, although he was great. He just was never healthy.
Shout out to amazing guy in here as well. The chat is heating up. There's some type of conversation going on that I can't really keep up with. Wow. Am I still live?
Yeah, you're still alive.
Yo, my computer just freaked out for a second, bro. And my stream is frozen right now. I could see my own face. It's Yo, on YouTube, can somebody let me know if it's frozen?
Yeah, your face is frozen, but the audio's still rolling.
The audio is still rolling?
Yeah.
That's absolutely hilarious. Hold up. Let me see if I do something real quick. I'm going to try and fix this real quick.
You don't have a crazy face on. You just got a serious face. Look like somebody told you some, like...
Okay, it's back, right? Yeah.
Yo. Yeah, there you go.
I thought my computer just crashed, bro. Like, the screen flashed at me. I saw the tabs appearing out of nowhere. I was like, my computer's not about to crash at me mid-stream, bro. Bro, somebody hacked me. Anyway, let me get to this super chat, bro. Anyway, shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. He says, no disrespect to either of you, Pisano. every single Italian Giants fan and all rugby players are watching you live. Chat right now at 4 a.m. here in Italy.
Yo,
I
let's go. Hey,
appreciate that, Tudo.
one thing
Shout
I
out to
love
you,
about
man.
you, Tudo. One thing I love about you, Tudo. First of all, you're great. You're great with the Eagles jokes. You're great with that, and you're great with the super chats. One thing I love about you is your dedication to watch us at 4 a.m.
Right?
Dude. You know what I would be doing? Sleep, bro. Sleep. I love everybody, but I'll be sleeping right now. And so the fact that you're up at 4 a.m. What are you getting up for work or something like that, dude? You're a beast, Tudo. You're a beast.
I just want to say Tana wilding out. Okay, that's some cap. He's probably speaking from personal experience, actually, is why he's saying that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I mean, your name's the Hub, dude.
All right, and
Listen. One thing I will tell you guys is that the Hub is always prepared. He's got the best security software that the world can offer. Okay, he's not gonna be one of those guys that go that goes searching around with no security, right? You're very protected, aren't you?
I don't even know how to respond to this, bro. Like, I will say this, getting back to the computer, though.
Guys, his name is the Hub. You guys don't think he has the best security software out there? Come on, he's not gonna get crashed from the prawn, bro, from corn.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, yo, my computer's low-key been giving me problems. I gotta go in and like delete a lot of games that I haven't used in a while and like clear up some files, because it has been giving me problems the past couple of days. But yeah, the problem says, what did I just walk into?
What the hell did I walk into?
Listen, blame it on Chris, bro. All right, blame it on Chris. That's all I'm gonna say. Where in the world were we? We were talking about John Beeson. We were talking about.
Okay, so let me end off on about John Ross. Okay, let me end up. Somebody literally just, I think it was Jaden or somebody said, John Beeson was good, but injuries ruined it. Thank you.
Parts of Staten Island are underwater. The hurricane's really hitting Staten hard.
Oh, wow, really?
That's crazy.
Well, you guys be safe out there, man. You guys be safe out there. But yeah, I mean, let me just end this John Ross situation before you get the super chat. Were you good?
I read the super chat.
Oh, I didn't even read it. Yeah, I'm just like I can't read and talk at the same time, so I'll let you say it. But as far as John Ross goes, guys, I like John Ross. I think he has all the talent in the world. I think I was the guy defending him in the draft, saying that he was a better route runner than people give him credit for. That he's not just a guy that runs down the field. I thought he was a good slot receiver. Just that, listen, if a guy gets hurt all the time, I don't care if you have Jerry Rice ability. I'm not signing you. Or I'm not taking a chance on you over other guys that are hungry and want to make this roster and could be just as good. Or just not as good, but on the field. So that's what I'll say on the matter. But ending that John Ross conversation, you can hit the super chat.
Shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. I don't endorse this joke because I could get canceled for endorsing it. But shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. All right. He says, what's the best part about dating an Eagles fan? They lay down without asking, and they give up in the fourth quarter. I'm laughing on the inside. You can see my cheekbones are hurting. But for anybody that's PC out there with power, it was not for me. I'm not trying to get canceled out here, bro. I'm not.
He put his name on there.
I'm not trying to get canceled. Even though in my opinion that joke was hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic.
I'm not out here to get canceled, bro. That's
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's all I'm gonna say on that. And then shout out to Ahmed for the $5 super chat. He says, building houses, no one. Dave Gettleman, let's start with the roof. By the way, I think the O-line will be fine. Judge will have them prepared. Talking about, I guess he says maybe the team was built up-down rather than down-up. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, actually, I mean, it's a really good point, Ahmed, because what are you supposed to do when you first start rebuilding? You get your quarterback, of course, which the Giants did. Everybody has their reserve thoughts about Jones. But you build that offensive line. Although the Giants tried to do that, they were unsuccessful. Yeah. So they tried to do that early and getting a guy like Will Hernandez, and then before that getting they could have gotten Quentin Nelson. I guess people argue that messing up in the 2018 draft and not getting Quentin Nelson, or then getting Nick Chubb later, or whatever the case may be. But they tried building the offensive line, probably not in the way you wanted to, but I mean. They tried, but they weren't very. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Dave Gettleman in the earlier stages of his tenure with the Giants probably should have done a better job at building that offensive line because of how much he preaches about the hog mollies, right? How much he preaches about it. I feel like he should have done a better job with the offensive line. But that's neither here nor there. Hindsight is 2020. We're moving on with this offensive line we got today.
Harrison, good night, man. Have a good one. Shout out to Evan Ingram for the $2 super chat. You know, we always say it as a joke, but can you imagine if that's actually Evan Ingram behind there, bro? That would be hilarious. What do you think, yo?
And one thing I won't lie about, Evan Ingram is a better blocker now. He's not an elite blocker.
Yeah, he says, why are we worried about the O-line? I'm an elite blocker now. Listen, I agree with KB. You're a better blocker now, but that's not saying much considering you couldn't block worth anything like just a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know about that, Chief. Kyle Rudolph is an elite blocker.
I feel like he sacrifices catching ability to block. It's like you ever play those RPGs and you're leveling up.
You got to choose one power or something.
Yeah, but you have like a certain amount of experience points, but you got to take away from one to build another. That's exactly what they did with Evan Ingram's character here. They took a couple points off his catching ability and put it right to blocking and see how that works out.
Exactly. And then what do you think about? You know what? This is a good question to ask you. How do you feel about Kyle Rudolph starting over Evan Ingram?
Oh God. Oh my God! I know you told me about that before. We had a spat about that before. Listen. One thing I will tell you. Hold on there, Kush. One thing I will tell you. I think the success of this football team would have Evan Ingram starting if he catches the ball. Hub, that's a big if. Okay, listen to what I'm saying now. Obviously, if Evan Ingram is getting open but not catching the ball, then Kyle Rudolph should be the starter. But one thing I will tell you, although I know we like to bring up Jason Witten and all, like he just needs to find the zones and be the blanket or whatever.
Wait, we're talking about Evan Ingram or Rudolph right now?
I'm talking about Rudolph right now. No, I'm talking about Evan Ingram needs to catch the ball, but I'm transitioning to Kyle Rudolph. I'm saying
okay, for Evan Ingram though. Okay.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
I'm saying
You're
I know we like
guy.
to bring up the Jason Witten comparisons with Kyle Rudolph and how he just needs to sit there and find the open zone, and that's how you move it down the field. But if you want this team to be more dynamic, if you want to create more yards of separation, if you want to create more opportunities for Saquon Barkley in the backfield and clear out the tackle box and let Saquon Barkley run and get open and stuff like that, you need Evan Ingram. One thing I will tell you is that if Evan Ingram catches the ball, he is a top 5 tight end in this league. Then nobody compares to his athleticism. Right? So what I'm saying there is, if Evan Ingram does not catch the ball very well, then Kyle Rudolph should be the starter. But as far as the offensive success of this team, if Evan Ingram has like a 70% catch rate, which is I guess decent. If he has a 70% catch rate, I think this team will be better off going with him as a starter than Kyle Rudolph. But if we get into red zone situations, short yard situations, of course I'm throwing Kyle Rudolph out there. But as far as our main tight end, a guy that, if he catches the ball and gets those routes open and stuff like that, I think Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph.
No, shut up. Evan Ingram.
Okay then. Sure, man. Man, listen. I've been saying for a minute as well, all right, as much as I hate on the guy, I will continue to say he's going to have a better season just because the mental pressure is off. He's not the number one target. Should be fine. It's hilarious that he still drops passes in practice and preseason and fan fest and whatnot. That's just absolutely hilarious. But hopefully he'll be fine come the regular season, which is in literally a couple of weeks. Amazing guy. What up, man? He has an interesting okay, Evan. I was about to shift the topic, but he super chatted me. Shout out to Evan Ingram for the $2 super chat. He says, not top 5 talent. I'm top 2, and I'm not number 2. Hashtag 2021 demon season.
I love that.
Yo, Evan, if you played with as much confidence that you're showing right now, bro, this wouldn't be a debate. That's all I'm going to say. It wouldn't be a debate.
Twitter fingers, man.
Oh, my God. This man, listen here, Evan. You haven't even changed your profile picture. It's 2021, man.
Yvette said if a wide receiver has a 70% catch radius, he might well be the best wide receiver in the game. Well, look at Sterling Shepard. He has like 80% catch percentage. Catch rate.
Kyle Rudolph's like on his career has like 85 or something like that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. 70% is good, but there are guys that have better. But if Evan Ingram can bump that up to 70, where is he at right now? 50? Like he's a literal 50-50 ball guy.
Evan Ingram stats. Let's see.
Yeah, let's look at stats and go to the
So
advanced stats.
on
for sure.
his career, he's a 60.7 catch percentage.
So,
Last
see if he.
last year he was 57%.
Okay, so like I said, if you get it to 70%, I think we'll be okay. I think we will be okay. I think Yvette's is getting confused with 70% accuracy from quarterbacks. It's not the same thing. You should be catching the majority, well over the majority of balls thrown to you as a wide receiver. You should have around 80. But if he gets to the 70, dude, just freaking 70, I'll be okay.
How do you feel about Jason Garrett, bro? Are you any
Golly,
type
man.
of confident in Garrett? Let's talk about the
Dude,
Patriots
I
game
was
a little
trying
bit.
to be yeah, and
'Cause-
that's exactly what I'll
Because
transition to.
this is the thing, right? We called way better plays for our second strings and backups than we did for our first string guys. We called
Yeah.
way more vertical
Yeah.
routes,
Yeah.
routes that weren't just some form of like spot, some form of curl, some form of comeback and out route. We actually called some vertical plays with our second string, and I'm just wondering why in the world it shows that Garrett has it in his playbook, but why didn't you call that for the first string, man? Like,
One
I'm
thing
so confused on how to feel about Garrett.
Now, I am just as worried as you are, and especially how we kept talking about it during the preseason game, how I was trying to tell myself I shouldn't be worried, but the more we were talking about it, I was getting worried.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will tell you is the plays are there. The plays are in the playbook, right? At least we know that for sure. They're calling those type of advanced route combinations. They're calling that stuff. It's there. One thing I will try to say to try to be as optimistic as I can is that maybe they didn't want the wide receivers running those things, like our starting wide receivers running those things, or the guys that are supposed to be on the field the majority of the time, because they don't want to show it, like they don't want to have film for other teams. I guess they want other teams to think that they're going to come out with the same offense that they had last year,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm hoping is the case. But yeah, like you said, the freaking second stringers were running advanced combination, pre-snap motions that were instantly snapped. And then you had the wide receivers stacked on each other, and they were running rub routes and stuff like that. That's something we did not see any of last year. And one thing I will tell you, Kush, one thing I will tell you right now, man.
Got
Jason
mad close
Garrett.
there.
Yes, Jason Garrett is a target of mine. He's gonna be on my hit list if I don't see a freaking mesh concept this season with Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard. We're gonna have problems. We're gonna have problems.
Okay.
We're gonna have freaking problems.
Okay.
If you don't run a simple but very effective mesh concept with those two slot receivers, we're gonna have freaking problems. I don't want to see no more. If I see Kadarius Toney running spot routes, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind.
If I see Kenny Galladay running a curl route, bro. Yo, I asked this on Twitter, and it got hilarious responses. I was like, all right, guys, place your bets. What's going to be the first pass play call of the year against the Broncos? Of course, most of the answer was curl routes, but a couple funny people was like a mesh route. A couple funny people was like a 9-8 route, but they were like, yo, it's the post, man. Just straight up just fly and go, man. Just go all the way down the field. But I better not see. Yo, I'm telling you right now, because we live stream the games. If while us calling the game on the first pass play, I see a curl, I'm going to bust out laughing. I am.
Just like, yeah, we lost.
Right?
I concede. I concede.
Like, all right, yeah, you know what, Garrett, you do you, bro. You got it,
right,
man.
like I was already pissed off that we used a freaking tactician in route running like Sterling Shepard on curl routes. I was already upset about that. But if you use such a variety of wide receivers that have all different strengths and weaknesses, they have different abilities, and you have all of them running freaking to the sticks and turning around, that's such a waste of talent. Like, why'd you sign those guys? You know what I mean? You could sign anybody to do that. But that's just me.
Bobby, neither of them hired Garrett. That was 100% a Mara hire, bro. 100%. Yeah,
sure.
Even Evan said the one smart thing it was ownership. That was what it was. But KB, any questions from you, man, before we close it out here? Any other questions from the chat you guys want to drop?
Yeah, as far as I go, I mean, I don't really have any. I think we covered everything I really wanted to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to week 1, dude. It's gonna be a very, very telling week 1, man. Like I said, for like the third time already, the Denver Broncos is such an evenly matched team with the Giants. I don't even need to go into how much they're matched up well with us, but their team is almost exactly how our team is. As far as quarterback play, their running game, their offensive line is slightly better, with Garrett Bowles getting better, but he was like known as a bust like 2 years ago. But he's getting better. They have weapons at wide receiver, but we don't know if that offensive line or the quarterback is going to be productive enough to get those wide receivers the ball. And their defense is very, very evenly matched with us too. Besides probably the edge rushers, which are very much better than ours. But I mean, I'm very excited for this Denver game. Although I really wanted to face against the Eagles, I do like Denver in the fact that we're very evenly matched. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to it as well. Of course, hilariously, one thing that hasn't been talked about as much, I expected more, was basically a rematch with our old head coach. Of course, now he's in the position he should be, which is offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur. I'm definitely going to be jealous of some of the offensive plays that the Broncos call for, because for as bad as a head coach Shurmur was, he was a great offensive mind, great offensive coordinator, man.
One thing I will tell you is that although Pat Shurmur is on the offensive side of the football, so he won't really matter to Daniel Jones. He knows Daniel Jones very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be helping that defensive staff. Remember, Daniel Jones, what was his biggest problem back in the Shurmur's regime? What was Daniel Jones' biggest problem? It was identifying zone defenses. And he sucked when teams disguised a cover 3, but it was actually a cover 2, and they switch freaking right before the snap, and then Daniel Jones gets confused in those plays. He knows that very, very well. So against man, Daniel Jones is great when straight up against man, but I know Pat Shurmur knows him very well. Pat Shurmur loved Daniel Jones. Okay, that was Pat Shurmur's guy. So he knows his strengths and he knows his weaknesses. Mm-hmm. So just know that Pat Shurmur is definitely giving some pointers out to the defense and the defensive coaching staff about how to stop Daniel Jones.
Always the pipe dream, always the perfect scenario that's never going to happen was Shurmur staying as the offensive coordinator. It just, for some reason, some people on Twitter thought it was possible, but I'm just like, it's not. It was not possible, bro.
It's not possible. You don't just demote a guy that took
egos
command,
and people are a thing.
Yeah, like how are you supposed to demand respect after you got demoted to an offensive coordinator position? Nobody's gonna respect you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're taking orders from somebody else because you couldn't do it. So I don't know. It was the best situation that he left, but I do like Shurmur as a coordinator.
Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be it for tonight, though, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We went for the usual 1.5 hours. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here. Shout out to all of y'all. You guys were great as usual. Shout out to King Tone, Vets, Tudo, Jalen, Evan Ingram, Bobby Murphy.
Why you say it like that, man?
I don't know what you're talking about. Ligma, Chris, of course, in here. Amazing guy. Am I missing anybody? Duran Osman, Giants Pain Sports probably in here earlier. Aditya. I'm just scrolling up here. Logan was in here. Harrison, he's already gone. CGC was in here. Miz. And everybody else, Yuvraj from earlier on, C-Rock, Edward Chan, thank you all for tuning in, man. Shout out to all y'all. That's it for now. And we're out. We'll see you next week, of course, on KB's channel. And